All right, we are live on YouTube. And we are live on Zoom.
Great. Welcome everybody who is joining us this morning. We'll begin promptly at 9:30. If you would like to, please go ahead and introduce yourself in the chat and make sure that you put it to all panelists and attendees. Hi, good morning, everybody, and welcome to our SJSU K-12 Online Teaching Academy. Super excited to see you all arrive this morning. I will be your host, Stephanie Eichley-Chang, along with Brian Chung-Dooley from the College of Education. And we're so excited to have Ed Campos with us today. He will be presenting to you all pairs on deck in the Zoom room, which I think might be my favorite title of webinars. Sorry to show a little favoritism. It's really fun. Anyway, he's a consultant, math, educational technology, computer science. He'll tell you all about himself and present to you, and well, after we go over the announcements. So for the announcements today, a recording will be available for this afterwards and will be sent out by Brian. Captions will be available in the recording, and if you need those, you can go to the bit.ly address there, which will be dropped in the chat. Your video and audio are automatically turned off today because of the large amount of participants. So if you could just please use the chat to communicate and use the Q&A to ask questions, and we'll have some time for questions along the way probably. And then definitely at the end, Ed has agreed graciously to talk to us a little bit at the end at 10:30 and answer some questions for us. So those of you who would like to stay after 10:30 and ask questions and hear what Ed has to say about Peardeck and his expertise, please stay on with us. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Ed right now. Welcome, Ed.
Good morning. How's everybody doing today? So I'm going to share my screen here. Good to see Robin. I see some familiar faces, Robin and Sabrina in the chat. Good to see you guys. Can you in the chat just type in, like can you see this screen here? I can't see any thumbs up. So if you can see this title slide, awesome. So yeah, my name's Ed. I live in Central California right now. So in Tulare. I'm glad to be here. Did some work with San Jose State last summer, and that's how I know Robin. So this is really awesome, Robin in the chat there. I'm really excited to come back and share. I love what you guys have going on there at San Jose State right now. It's really awesome. And what I want to share about today is this mistitled slide. I had to retitle the slide. All pairs on deck in the Zoom room, as I just noticed that. So I'm modeling mistakes, embracing mistakes right from the outset, right? So that's, and this is, I just want to share like what my favorite tool is here in this distance learning situation that we're all now a part of. And because this addresses, like this tool Peardeck, I think addresses a lot of problems that we have going on right now, some struggles, because the struggle's real. Problem number one, like, I don't know about you guys, but I've been stuck in the Zoomnado. It's usually like a category 5, category 6 Zoomnado every day. A lot of the Zooms that I'm in are very much the same, being talked at for like an hour, 45 minutes. I'm sitting down way too much. You know, it's not a lot of engagement. Maybe some breakout rooms every once in a while, but that the struggle's real. I'm Zoombied out by the end of the day. It's a different kind of mental draining exhaustion. And then this other thing about I get lost in windows. You know, I don't know if you've gotten lost in these windows, like there's a, which tab are we supposed to be in, or which am I supposed to be over here or over here? And I feel like there's, you know, I feel like Neo in the Matrix, and but instead of dodging bullets, I'm dodging like windows, and it's really crazy. So that's a big problem that I think that this Peardeck is going to take help address. There's another problem too, like as educators, right? Is that this idea of asynchronous education, asynchronous learning, that I think a lot of people are not familiar with. You know, if you've never taken an online class, and even if you have taken an online class but weren't good at it, like I wasn't good at being an online student, to be honest. But this idea that you can do a lot of learning on your own time, you know. So I think that's hard to do, and there's a big challenge, because I see a lot of educators trying to take, this is what I used to do from bell to bell in class, and now I'm trying to do exactly the same thing over Zoom, and we cannot do that. That's not sustainable. That's exhausting. Like, so we need to fix that. So the other piece is that, you know, in our classrooms, a lot of us, like, we had the system down, right? We could facilitate the collaboration, the 4 C's: critical thinking, communication, the creativity. We had all these activities and structures going on in the physical classroom. But now, like, that's really awkward to do. How do I do what I used to do over here via Zoom and this like Brady Bunch, Hollywood Squares type new reality that I'm in right now, right? And I just dated myself with the Hollywood Squares, because I don't think like half of you guys don't know what that is. And it's clunky, it's awkward, you know, and especially with younger students. Yeah, we need to simplify the process. So so I think one of the best tech tools, if not the best, I think, is Peardeck, to help make this really easy. And the reason why I think it makes it really easy, because it's not something totally new and out of left field that you got to learn, because it's an add-on for Google Slides or PowerPoint. So if you're already using Google Slides or PowerPoint, then Peardeck is like a little bit of hot sauce that you're going to sprinkle on that Google Slide or PowerPoint, and you're going to make it interactive. So that's what I love about it, is like, I was already making Google Slides for everything that I do. This is just a Google Slide right now, and I'm going to show you guys how we jump into the Peardeck really quick. But it's something I'm already doing, and it has interactive questions, like with a short text response, multiple choice response, a number response, a drawing response, a draggable, a website push. It is free, but not all of the features are free. So the free features on here are the short text, the multiple choice, and the number. Okay, so the drawing, draggable, and website push are with the premium. But the good thing is that the premium Peardeck makes makes the premium version free for all teachers up through July, I think, through the end of July. So you could at least get a chance to test it. I actually, when I first found out about this, I paid for it myself to get the premium, because I just really loved Peardeck on my own. But they do have great district pricing for those folks. So and what I'm going to do for about the first 40 minutes here is I'm going to show you different ways to slice this pair to engage students in different ways, like with our phone, over Zoom, on the desktop in a tab, because there's different ways I use Peardeck in different ways. And then I don't think we're going to be able to do the Google Slides Peardeck thing at the end, because that's a breakout room, or we might be able to. Actually, how many people do we have in this session? We have 100. We might be able to do that. And then I wanted to be able to show you the last 15 minutes, like how do you actually make your Google slide or your PowerPoint interactive. Actually, how do you make your Google slide interactive? Because I don't use PowerPoint anymore, but I'll demo it and it's really easy. Okay, so I want to get you guys into the Pear Deck right now. So, but I don't want to get you lost in Windows, right? So I'm going to keep you right here. All you got to do is watch this screen, and I want you to open up a browser on your phone and then go to this website, joinpd.com. You see the little phone. Go to joinpd.com and then go to type in YGERU. And I'm going to wait. I'm going to play some copyright-free music while you guys get logged in. And if we have how many? We have 107 participants. We're not going to be able to wait to get everyone in. I'm just going to let you know that. But I'm going to wait till we can get about 80. I think we could shoot to get about 80 into the Pear Deck. And you might get kicked out. That happens with Pear Deck and free stuff. So the code is YGERU. It should be showing on the screen. Can someone type yes if you can see the screen with the code that I'm sharing here? Awesome. Thank you. So type in that code. We're going to shoot for about 80. I'm going to play some music while we get in there. And then I'm going to jump to the Pear Deck right now. And then we're going to get rocking and rolling. Okay. You should have, if you're in there, it should ask you like a little happy face, kind of content face, sad face, like how are you doing today? And then you're in. So if it says teacher's ready to start, you're good. Okay. I'm going to play some music. No, that's not the, let's see. No, that didn't work. I don't know why that's all choppy now. There we go. Oh, the screen Q&A. No, it's that if you're on the screen Q&A slide, that's correct, but I'm going to switch it to sorry, one of my tabs got closed out. It's whenever I have technical difficulties, I normally play Taylor Swift "Shake It Off" because I got to shake the technical difficulties off, but that's not going to play any copyrighted music. Yeah, you're okay if you're stuck on Q&A. I'm getting there. We'll be there soon. Yeah, so the nice thing with this is, well, I'm going to make this really easy, right? I see some people say like, you know, this is a struggle, but I just want you to like focus on this screen and then answer some questions on your phone. So I don't want you to get lost in Windows. That's one of the things I really love about Pear Deck is that you can use it and keep people like just looking at one thing here and one thing here. So answer some questions on the Pear Deck when I give you a question. And then you're going to just watch the Zoom. And then, so here we go. So I see, oh, boom, we got 87 students connected. You guys see this right here? 87 students. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm actually on the wrong slide. So I'm going to scoot back up to up here. And where was that? Okay. So why am I using Zoom and Pear Deck on mobile? There's a couple things I want to tell you the why. It's like Pear Deck on training wheels. It's really easy. I use it great for PD. Are you still on Q&A section right now, or do you see the Pear on the bike with the training wheels? Can I get a confirmation of that in the chat? Pear on the bike. Cool. Pear on the bike. If not, refresh your screen. So a lot of the solutions to this, if you're not on the right page, refresh your screen. Okay, awesome. So great. This is great for a 1 hour Zoom. If you have a limited time and you don't have a elongated, like a big relationship with students in a class, just do stuff on the phone so you're not getting people locked in. I use it for check-in and then for short responses. So now I'm going to do a check-in right here. On your phone, you should have a pin, and I want to do a social emotional check-in and see how people are doing, because it's a stressful time right now, right? We've got a pandemic going on. We've got social unrest happening, right? There's a lot of things going on. My anxiety flares up a lot. So drag the purple pin to how you're feeling on this phone, okay? Yeah, so while you guys are doing that, I'll try and answer some of those questions. So students, they don't have to have a computer and a mobile. They could just do it straight off the mobile or just do it straight off the computer. I'm going to be modeling a bunch of different ways to use this. So because there are a variety of different access points, I want to show you guys a lot of different ways of using this, like different ways to slice the pear, what I talked about earlier. So I'm going to give you guys 30 seconds. If you notice down here, I can lock this screen, and you shouldn't be able to move it, because down here I clicked lock. But I don't want to lock it yet. Notice if I click and hold down on the lock button, then this timer comes up, and I'm going to give you guys 30 seconds to select how you're feeling. So the lock button was on the screen, on my screen on Zoom. Okay, so you should see a timer counting down. And then as you're doing that, now I'm going to show responses here with the show responses that you see at the bottom of my screen. And you can see all of the pins coming up right here to see how we're all feeling, how all 80, I mean, we got 100, but I don't know how many are in the Pear Deck. But when this image loads, sometimes this happens, I think, there we go. We've got this mood meter, and we can see that we're very much so like kind of split, right? We've got quite a bit up here in this yellow with upbeat, joyful, pleasant. On the bottom right, green, satisfied. Bottom left, mope, but I see some mopey, some timid, right? So down here, right? But this is really important for me, and I like being able to check this anonymously, because now I can do a check-in on my students. And you know what? If we're all red or blue, that's I probably might not even get to my academic content today. Like maybe it's just time. Maybe there's some stuff going on in the world that we just need to sit and have a conversation for this hour. So this is a draggable question with Pear Deck. So thank you guys for that. And then right here on your phone, can you answer this question? What kind of interactivities do you normally have in your face-to-face PD or classroom? Like, what have you done as far as interactive activities that you did in your class? And go ahead and type some of those in. And then while you're doing that, so I'm going to give you guys 1 minute to type those, because we've got time, and just get a feel for it. And if you're not able to get into the Pear Deck, I understand that sometimes it's not able to get 100%. Just go ahead and type your answers in the chat. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, if you can't, thank you for doing that, J McGettigan. Yeah, if you're not able to get into the Pear Deck, just type your answers in the chat, because I want to make sure everybody has access to that. But I'm going to show the responses here. So this is a text response answer, and I can see breakout rooms, games, turn-in talks, right? And then if you notice up here in the top left, I can go into list form or grid form, which is up here in the top right here. And this allows me to see a whole bunch of student responses all at one time. So I'm seeing some Jamboard, playing music over YouTube, group work, pair in, Flipgrid, right? I like this. Actually, I've started using Pear Deck. It transformed the way I do distance learning. Yes, I agree with that. This is like, it is one of the best, if not the best, in my opinion. Like, it just does so much, and it's so easy to use. So there's a lot of really cool ways that we were engaging our students, and a lot of this stuff you can even use through Pear Deck, which I'm going to show you, like the Google Slides, the Kahoot, I'm seeing Google Forms, Jamboard. That stuff you can deliver through Pear Deck. So that was a text response. This next one, what grades do you teach, or what grades do you plan on teaching? So I'm going to give you guys a 30-second timer to use this, and I'm going to show you guys right here. And just a quick check-in, is anybody lost in any windows so far, or is this pretty easy to follow along with, right? If this is pretty easy to follow along with, can you like put your phone down and just type that in the chat, and see like this is see how like the anxiety just lowered a lot. We could play some music, right? Play some music right there. And I'm not lost in any windows or tabs. All I'm doing is watching one Zoom. And that makes me happy because as a math teacher, Robin knows this, we are fighting against anxiety in the math class. I just want to battle anxiety all over the place, right? So now I just got a great snapshot of a check-in anonymously. But what you guys can't see here is I have on my phone, I have the teacher dashboard open so I could actually see who is answering what. So I can check in on folks. If there were some folks that were on that mood meter way over to the blue and the red, I can go and check in and I can have that private conversation there. So this is a multiple choice question. Google Slides or PowerPoint. Here's another multiple choice question, just if you want to check this out. What do you use, Google Slides or PowerPoint? Give you 30 seconds for that. I see a lot of Google Slides, but I see like 50. Ooh, it's like a race right here. It's like a battle. This is like, can we get some music right here? This is like an intense battle. Google Slides is possibly because it's free. But here's the nice thing is that Pear Deck works with both. It's an add-on for both. So you can make interactive PowerPoint slides, interactive Google Slides. I just have never used PowerPoint because I haven't used PowerPoint in a very long time. So I'm sure there's YouTube videos on using that. Just search like Pear Deck and PowerPoint. Okay, so now that was a multiple choice question. Let me ask you guys real quick. How many Zooms per day are you guys in? Because I'm not sure about you guys, but I feel like my friend Norm Peterson right here. If sometimes you're like zoomed out, you're in that Zoomnado, and this is a number response, so it only allows a number. And if you'll notice about this, please keep this to an honest estimate. Like I see some people like that they're always a student and an adult that likes to be really funny and put like a really obscene number. Please don't do that because it really messes with the box and whisker plot. But yeah, I know you're not in 40 Zooms a day. If you would remove that, that would be cool. But if you want to leave that, that's okay too. Then you're that person. But if someone did mess around, then I could go and see this box and whisker plot and see that a lot easier, right? So, and actually, I think I can go in and hide that person's response. I think I can. Let's see. So I'm gonna. So I'm on the dashboard right now and I can see, so I'm going to hide that response because I'm going to just go and assume that was not 47 answers was not 47 Zooms, probably not correct, right? So, 47. Okay. But I was able to remove it on my end. So see, I just removed that 4 and that 7. So awesome. So we see like on average, this is nice, right? Especially if you teach math and you're trying to teach estimation. I don't know if you've ever seen the website estimation180.com, wonderful for estimation. But now you can just be constantly like teaching estimation and box and whisker plots every day. Like what a great thing for math teachers, right? So if you're teaching math at all, and especially if you're teaching that concept. So that was a number slide. This is a drawing slide. Draw a Zoom meeting that you've been in lately. I'm going to play some music and I'm going to give you a little tip because you're drawing your phone, which is nicer on your finger. In the bottom left corner of your screen, you're going to see a slide ruler. that lets you adjust the width of your pencil, pen, or marker. And a lot of times I like to bring it down all the way down so it's a thinner marker pencil so that I can draw finer. And then you can also type if you hit the T, and you can draw straight lines with that. So I'm seeing some people drawing some things right now, and I'm going to play a little music, let you guys get your artistic skills on. All right. Awesome. Yeah, if there's any, I know we're kind of rocking and rolling, but if there's any questions you have so far, if you want to drop them in the chat while people are drawing, especially if you're not connected to Pear Deck. If you're not connected to the Pear Deck, if you have questions, I can answer those while I'm checking out some of the wonderful artists that are here. Set the timer. There we go. Set the timer for the check-in slide, 30 seconds. Now all the slides have a 30-second timer. So is there a 30-second timer going on in this one? Because I didn't add the 30-second timer to this one. I don't see this on that. Yeah, so there's yeah, estimation180.com. Robin is that's the website right there. The lock button down here, this is how I give the timer. It goes 30 seconds, 1 minute, or 3 minutes. Right, I'm going to set 1 minute as a timer. Those are the only 3 options you have, even with the premium. So, oh. Yeah, I think, Veronica, are you able to zoom in to draw on your phone? You should be able to zoom in, but unless I'm mistaken. Yeah, so if you zoom in, you can draw a little bit there. Well, my phone stuff just. Okay, so we got about 30 seconds left. I'm going to start going through and scrolling through some of these drawings. Do answers project in real time? Yes, they do. So I'll show you right now because you still have about 30 seconds left, and you can see all these drawings happening in real time. Oh, my internet's kind of slow right now. No, the timer is part of the Pear Deck feature. So if you click right here, I'm going to unlock the screen. My internet is not being cooperative with me right now. There we go. So you see the lock and unlock, and the timer is here. If you click on here, that's just a part of Pear Deck right here. That's not anything special. That's a part of Pear Deck. So I'm going to unlock those. I'm going to show the answers right here. You click show responses, right? Didi, can you see that show and hide responses down here at the bottom? Yep. So now I can see them in grid, which is really cool. Look at these wonderful, wonderful artwork right here. Or I could go in list form. I kind of prefer the list to just do this slow scroll because then it lets everyone, it's like a little gallery walk of all the wonderful artists. I've perfected this slow scroll right here. This is kind of, it's good to play some music while this is happening. Look at the talent we have in here. So yeah, so there's a draw feature, right? I'm going to scroll through a few more of these. On the teacher dashboard, as I'm seeing the actual names of people who are, this is fun, that's cool. The names of people who are actually doing these, I can hit a star button. I don't know if you see, let me see. Can you see? So this is the teacher dashboard right here. And I'm going to say, okay, I really like this drawing, but that Susan Diaz drew, and I'm going to star it right here. And what that does is that pushes that up to the top. And I love this drawing that Dory drew right here. So I'm going to star that. That pushes up to the top. And then if you ever want to hide a student response, like we had something that's like if a student draws inappropriate things, because I know your students would never draw inappropriate things, but mine have occasionally, then you could click hide response here with these 3 dots. The nice thing about this teacher dashboard is you can also, Pear Deck just added this feature where you can click this speech bubble and give your students feedback. This is going to be huge when I show you guys this asynchronous, the possibility right now, which is what we're going to do next. Because think about, you're assigning a bunch of stuff, because right now I'm guiding you through the Pear Deck. I'm controlling your screen, but I'm about to let you go off-roading right now. This is the most powerful part of Pear Deck that I get really excited about. And this teacher dashboard right here is, you just go to peardeck.com and then you log in with the same account you're running the Pear Deck from, and then you go to sessions and then open that up. So this is really nice, but I'm going to go back to the presenting one right here. Awesome. Yeah, the gallery walk, right? It's like we got to try and figure out ways to do the same things we've done before, but now in a different world, right? So this is your normal Pear Deck screen, and what I'm going to have you guys do is I'm going to have you guys put the phones down, okay? Put the cell phones down, okay? Shake it off a little bit, maybe get up, do a little stretch, right? Do a little warrior pose, whatever you got to do, get a little stretch. And I'm going to drop this link in, and let's all go. Oh, that's the wrong one. So I'm going to click give students link, and you notice I have a Google Classroom one here too. And let's go click on the link in the tab. And then here's a pro tip, because I still don't want you to get lost in Windows, but it can easily get you lost in Windows because you're checking email, you're checking Facebook. When you click open that Pear Deck tab, in fact, when you go to any document that someone shares with you in a Zoom, right click on that tab and then go to pin tab. Right click on the tab, go to pin tab. And what that does is it anchors your tab. It throws it to the left of your screen. And I'm hoping that's the left. Maybe I'm sure we're going this way. Throws it to the left of your screen. And it makes it a really small tab that's pinned to the left of your browser window. And so, you know, your Pear Deck tab is always going to be there. So if you're back in Zoom, because now you're going to have this workflow of, I got to go from Zoom to my Pear Deck, Zoom to Pear Deck. But I need to always know. So is this pointing to the left right here? Am I going to the left, or is that, because this is to my, I'm pointing to my left, but no. So go to the left right here. Okay. Go to the, pin the tab and go to the left, and then just hold on to that. And when you see, no, not on your phones. We're not on our phones anymore. So I asked you guys to put the phones down and go to this link right here. So no more phones. We're going a little deeper into the Pear Deck experience, a different slice of the way we can use it. Okay. So I'm seeing quite a bit of folks. Again, how do you pin again? Right click on the tab and then go to pin, and it will slam it to the left side. And then now you're good there. That changed my life. I just learned that like three weeks ago. And it like changed my life too. Okay. So I'm going to pin that there, and I'm going to start moving on. So why is this really helpful? Because now the one feature I haven't showed you is the website push feature. Okay. Because, and I've been guiding you along. See how the little pair, like you're in my little sidecar, me and my student, and like we're riding together, but we want our students to we want to reclaim our time. There's only so much I can do when I have 1 hour of Zoom time. And I want to do that. I want to offload some of that work, some of that asynchronous stuff, right? If you're using Padlet or Quizzes or Desmos or something like that, like that's the stuff we want to push out with the website push. So, and what I'm going to do is, instead of just pushing out a website, hey, go to this website and read this. No. The internet has changed. So now websites have interactivity in them, right? You could push out a website and I could take a quiz. You could push out a Google Jamboard and I could do some work and collaborate with some students. So that's how I use this website push feature. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to, let's see. I'm going to unlock this, and just some of my best practices for Zoom before I get started is like, pin that Pear Deck tab, like I said, use minimal view whenever you can. It's up in the in your window, in your viewing window. Play music during some awkward silences or transition times through your phone, either through when you share screen, do play music through computer, and then share your window, not a desktop. So that's just some little pro tips there. So. But I'm going to have you guys, I'm going to take the training wheels off, and you guys see these 3 dots down here. It does work on an iPad. Yep. these 3 dots down here, and I'm going to turn on student paste. So now you're going to be able to control your slides. So I want you to go to your Peardeck tab, and then I want you to go through slides 19 through 24, and 24 is the slide that has a big stop sign that comes up, and just stop there, right? So that when you see the stop sign, stop, and this is going to take about 4 to 5 minutes. I'm going to play some music at a light pace. If you have questions, I can answer some of those there. But now you're in student paste, and you should be able to control that slide. So go to your Peardeck tab, and then this is start answering these questions, slide 19, which I believe should be this one, up until 24. If it's not numbered right, sometimes I mess that up, but at least go from this slide up until the stop sign, okay? And I'm gonna play a little bit of classroom music so you can shake it off, right? So Nancy says, will this work from an iPad? Yes, iPad. I love the iPad because you can draw. You have a bigger drawing canvas. But yeah, it works on all devices because it's web-based. And Candace's question, some districts are not allowed to use Zoom. Can you do all of this in Google Classroom? You actually don't need Zoom to do any of this. Like, especially this asynchronous part, you can just, you're correct in that. You could do what I was first doing over Google Meet, also just screen sharing in Google Meet with the phone. But if you're just trying to push this lesson out like I just did, if you're pushing this out, you can just push that link out in Google Classroom. And that's correct. You don't even need Zoom. I'm trying to show you like different ways of how to use it with Zoom, but also like now, like I just shared a link with you and you guys can do this at your own pace, right? How does this compare to Nearpod, Robin? It's very similar to Nearpod. I just don't have a lot of experience with Nearpod, but they do a lot of the same things. So I really have, I would say it's almost the same. I just have used Peardeck way more. From the Q&A, how do you anonymize the names of the students in Peardeck? So they are all anonymized. Like if you notice when I was sharing my screen, they were all anonymized. Like, I mean, there was, no. They were all, they didn't show any names when I showed the responses. Nobody's names came up. The only time they show names is when I go to the teacher dashboard. If I go here, but I never project this to my class, okay? Like I don't ever project this to my class. But because you guys are teachers right here, I'm okay with projecting this right now. And the nice thing is I can go in and give feedback. Like as you guys are answering this, right? So I can leave feedback and we can have a communication. So I'm leaving this feedback for Teresa. Great response. What's your experience with asynchronous learning and teaching? You know, and I can send that and then Teresa can respond back to me so we can have a conversation. So I try and do this little demo in my session of like a 4 to 5 minute asynchronous experience, because now just imagine whatever you're doing right now is over a week and you just created like, here's some activities I want my students to work on for the week. And I don't have to go in and email them, hey, how are you doing? Because I can go in and check on the Peardeck dashboard to see where everybody's at, right? Yeah, so Jessica, when Peardeck is open, when you present it, you can go these 3 dots and then you can go to open dashboard in new device, and the dashboard is how you get into the feedback mode. So, and the dashboard is only available in premium. So that is, you know, how Peardeck kind of gets you. I mean, people can't give everything away for free, I would be honest, but like for the most part, the stuff you can get for free is nice. I mean, the feedback mode, which is really nice, and our schools, they spend a lot of money. So you get to that dashboard, which is here. And then as I'm looking through the questions, you just click on the speech bubble. And then that's the feedback there. Yep. So now if you notice, I'm looking at the feedback and I can see where everybody's at. I can see there's 5 students here four students on this question, 1 student here. I can see there's 12 students, 11 students on this one. 17 students there. There's on slide 24, there's a slide there. Oh, did this GIF not stop there? Did the stop sign GIF not come up? So if nothing else, if the stop sign GIF didn't come up, then stop on slide 24. It's the last one that says, yes, I'm done. Okay. Yeah, that was. No, you cannot prevent students from moving on if they don't answer a question. They don't have that feature yet. Yeah. So I can go in and I can see, like, you know, this is, so I'm trying to simulate what would happen during a week of asynchronous learning, right? I assigned, you know, a FET number line activity. Like, how many of you guys were able to check out that activity and see how nicely it embedded within Peardeck? Like, you were able to get in there and then explore the number line. Can somebody give me some feedback in the chat if they were able to do that? Yeah. Like, so that should start spinning some wheels right there, right? That number line, all that FET is a website tool that I found. So think about your quizzes, your Kahoot, all of that stuff that you use, your Jamboard. Just like I shared that link, all I did was share a link, and you see how nicely it packaged that, so my students are not getting lost in all these tabs, right? So I'm hoping that your mind is just spinning right there. And Diane, I'm going to show you how to do that slide. It's super easy. It's just pasting a link into there. It's just a link. Just paste the link into the activity. So I'll show you. All right. So I'm going to give you guys like 1 more minute. And if you can, just finish up. At least try and go to 23, slide 23, if you're there. And then yep, let me see. I could explore, but I didn't know what I was supposed to do with it. There were no instructions. Yeah, I mean, there's only so much we can do in an hour, right, Dory? So it's like I'm not going to try and explain what FET is. I just want to show you guys, like, what are some tools. Like, if you use any other tool on a website, like, you know, that's it. Like, it's limitless. Like, what you guys can use with Pear Deck. Like, what are you using already? Put that website in there, and it packages it nicely. Did you log into the dashboard separately? No, the dashboard is just, it's once you logged in, you just click on the 3 dots down here, and then you go to, here, let me go back to my other one. So I'm on the presenting, and I go to 3 dots, and then I go to open dashboard on new window, and then it just pops up there. But I actually like to open it onto my own device, because I never present, like I'm doing it now, I never present with sharing student names. Yeah. Yep. Okay. So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and move it to, where are we at? Okay. So I'm gonna click back on stop student paste. So now you should be back at this done slide, right, with the Riddler and the Joker. Can I get a confirmation? Yes. And like, you should not be able to move. Correct. So now, and I'm not going to really show the responses, you know, but I can easily go back there. But the nice thing is I did that on my time asynchronously. So think about what just happened in 5 minutes. Think about over a week. What kind of assignments would I give to my students? Hey, watch this video, explore this activity with FET, go to this Google Jamboard, create this, go to this Google slide, I don't know, take this quizzes to check for understanding, like whatever your process is and those tools you've used, think about what you would assign in a week. And that's like what we just did in 5 minutes, right? But now, then I could give feedback. So I don't need to go through show you guys your answers, because I have given you feedback throughout the 5 minutes or the week. Okay. And then this is, I don't know if you guys were able to fill out this link of what you represent, but I love this website called Mentimeter, and it lets you create a word cloud. So you should be seeing a word cloud on your website right now, which includes all of your representations. So, and I believe I have, can you guys see that there? So I think I have this one. Yep, there you go. So this is that that word cloud. I love this word cloud right here, especially as like, Robin, do you remember the activity that we did, talk behind your back, when we did that at San Jose State, where we wrote positive things about each other while each of us was sitting on our chair, right? Remember how amazing that activity was? So this is how you do talk behind your back on virtually. And I've done this with a cohort of KCI teachers, and it's still pretty powerful. So if you want an end of the year activity and you want to like build some culture and have students create, instead of what do you represent, write 3 words that describe Robin, write 3 words that describe Sabrina, you know, stuff like that. And then you're going to have that person's name there with all of the wonderful things about them. So, but Robin can tell you more about that there. So there, get back to here. So there was a question that I had. Can you audio record answers on Pear Deck? Pear Deck does have audio now. I haven't used it, but you can record. I don't know about audio answers, but you can record audio like teacher feedback. But I can't imagine that's not coming soon. Now that they've got the summer off, they're adding all kinds of stuff. And to answer Jessica's question, yes, anything you link can link into the Pear Deck presentation, which I'm about to show you right now. Okay. So I really just want to, like, can you type into the chat right now? Oh. Let me show you one last thing before I show you how to build these, right? So what is the potential of this? Can you start seeing the potential of this right now? Just as far as the uses before I show you the how-to. Think about the things you already use in your classroom, the Padlet, the Jamboard, the slides, the quizzes, the Kahoot. What is the potential? So if you notice right now, this website, this Pear Deck is pushing out to you, I think it's a Google slide, but let's say I messed up and I'm like, ooh, this wasn't supposed to push out a Google slide. Watch this right here. This 3 dots. Oh, I'm sorry. This new prompt, right? Can you guys see this new prompt plus button down here at the bottom? I'm asking a thumbs up, like I can see you guys' face. So, right, don't worry about the Google Slides. We're not going to do the Google Slides, Amber. So the new prompt is, if I forgot to make this a certain interactive slide, I can just change this interactive slide. So I'm going to say, here's the question I want to ask you now. What is the potential right here? What is the potential? So I need to change the slide and make this a different interactive slide. That's the wonderful thing, because like, as much as I like teacher.desmos, if you guys are familiar with that, I can't change and make an interactive slide, add interactivity midway, because, you know, you always learn about something new. Ooh, I should have asked that question. Or I'm running out of time. I need to do it, do an exit ticket. So you can, I'm going to do that again. If I close the window, when I'm in here, I go to new prompt. And then I'm going to go to, these are like the templates that they have. I don't really use those templates. No, I'm okay. And I'm just going to say, what is the potential? And I can either make it a text, a draggable, a number, a drawing. So the text, this is going to be the last thing before I do the how-to. Text is, I want you to answer, what is the potential that you see for you using it right now? Right. And Robin just said you can't do changes on the fly in Nearpod. So this is a great feature. So that's a difference then, because I didn't know that. But like, how could you see yourself using this? All I shared with you one link. Think about, I don't even need Zoom. I could just share Google Classroom. But this is a much more engaging Zoom, I'm hoping, than you have been in without, so, you know, just being talked at. Like, I did talk at you a lot, but I collected a lot of feedback, right? Engagement for multilingual learners. Yeah. If you're not able to answer the Pear Deck, answer it in here. But if you can see it in here, I'm going to show the responses. And so this is cool because I just made this on the fly, right? I'm like, I always mess up. I always forget something. And this covers my back, right? This has my back because I can just do this on the fly right here. Does Pear Deck drop when you have a premium account? Is it less? I'm not sure if I understand that question. Does it drop? Does the price drop? Oh, does it drop less? Is that, I'm not sure if that's the question you're asking. You can add a background for students to draw on. Yep, Perrin. Joyce, I'm not sure about your question. Can you reword that? I think there may be some. But see, now I love all these answers, right? Limitless possibilities. I'm glad you guys are seeing that. I love getting excited about Pear Deck, and they've only just begun, right? There's easy way to encourage the students, interactive, using it off Zoom to push out links. Lots more engagement. Yep. Facilitates educational tools, accessibility, all in one platform. Exactly. One link to rule them all. Like, I like that. I'm already using Desmos. I'm already using quizzes, but instead of one Google Classroom link with a bunch of links, I have one Pear Deck link that I think of it like the BART. You guys are familiar with the BART. Of course, you guys, the Pear Deck is like the BART system for education. Let me take you on a journey, and I'm gonna drop you off right here at the Pear Deck at the Desmos Coliseum. I'm gonna drop you off over here in Quizzes Town, something like that. And it's a nice vehicle to deliver all of this distance learning, right? Pear Deck, they have a really good help center. If you email them, if you message them on Twitter, if you look, their YouTube channel is really good. Didi, this screen this is not the dashboard. This one is the dashboard here. So where I can see the actual names, that's the dashboard. This one here is just the show responses question screen. Is the add slide on the fly on the dashboard? No. You can use this in foreign language class. Yes, I think you can use this in every class. Okay, so we have about 10 minutes left, and I appreciate all these responses. You have access to my slides. I also, if I'm gonna add my Twitter handle in here. If you're not on Twitter, I highly suggest you get on Twitter. It's a really great place to share, and I'd love to have you ask some questions. Also, there's my email address. I prefer being Twitter over email address because Twitter's public. So if you have a question, there's going to be a question that's very public. But what I'm going to do next is I want to give a quick demo of like how you create the Pear Deck. Okay. Yeah. So let me see. Yeah, the tutorials on YouTube are great. Are you able to restrict access? Who has access to the Pear Deck link? No, it's not. I mean, you can only share the Pear Deck link in Google Classroom, because it links to Google Classroom. So are they able to save their responses or do they lose them? So here's what I'm going to do real quick. So let me demo this last thing. I'm going to unhide this response. And then I'm going to go to this 3 dots and I'm going to say end this session. So thank you for that question, whoever asked that from the Q&A. So as soon as I end this session, and I'm going to name this San Jose State. What is today's date? The 24th. And I'm going to save and end. And I think I clicked too fast, but it said the box is checked to publish takeaways. And what the takeaways are is it's a Google Doc with a copy of all your responses. So that answers that question, that you can get all of your answers emailed to you right now, which you will get in a Google Doc. So it's kind of like your notes, right? Okay. Any other questions about any of that before I do like the how-to? And even though we only have 10, I mean, I'm staying until 10:45, so don't worry about that. Even though we have till 10:45, I want to make sure I address any questions before I show you how to do this, which is super easy. Like, and you're gonna like love how easy it is. How limited is your storage on Pear Deck? I think Pear Deck doesn't store anything really, because it's just to add onto your Google Slides. So it's whatever your Google storage is, which is unlimited if you have an educational account, right? The notes go to each individual person. Yes. They only get their answers, correct. How is this better than Desmos? I think it's better at some things because it makes Google Slides interactive, which Desmos does not. I like using Peardeck and Desmos because I link my Desmos activities just like I linked that PhET simulation. So I have a Desmos activity that I push out within my Peardeck because I have other things that I build as far as slides. Yeah, you can embed. That's exactly what I do. I embed Desmos. Yeah, I don't see one or the other. Like Desmos is definitely better than Peardeck in that the interactive graphs for math and things like that, and the activities like Desmos Activity Builder is amazing. There's a lot of similarities in the dashboards between Desmos Activity Builder and Peardeck dashboards. Okay. Sorry. So if you're ready to go I'm going to do a quick little demo. Can we get a yes? If you want to see how we do this. All right, cool. Awesome. I hope some of this is useful. So when you get to your Google slide, right? All I have right here, what are you looking at? This is just my Google slide. This is just my Google slide right here. So I'm going to add a slide and I'm going to give you like the quick way to do this. So I'm going to create like a couple of blank slides. And if I wanted to make this slide interactive, right? I have to add this Peardeck add-on. So add-ons, and I'm going to, because we have short time, I'm going to show this to you and you have an archived version. Just for the sake of time, I'm not going to have time to wait for everyone to do this step by like right now. I hope that's okay because of time limitations, but you have an archived video that you can go back and follow this on your own time. So I'm going to make the most out of this time with the tools that we have. So you go to add-ons, you have Peardeck right here. If you don't have it here, you just have to go to get add-ons. And then you're going to, when you go to get add-ons, you search for Peardeck, but it's probably going to show up as like the first or second one there. So you click on that add-on and then click install. Mine is already installed. So you just click that and then you're good to go. That's going to say like connect to Google, all this stuff. Then when you install it, this little icon shows up and Peardeck shows up in your add-ons menu here. I'll be honest, I never click this Peardeck one, like because sometimes it doesn't work for me, but I usually just go add-ons here and then open Peardeck add-on, which is supposed to be the same thing as that. But to be honest, this is the first time that button has ever worked for me, which is funny. So when you click the add-on, this little panel is going to show up, and this is how this is like you just got your little bottle of hot sauce beside your Google slide. You can be like, okay, I want to make this interactive like this, make this interactive like this, right? So let's say this first title slide. I don't need this to be interactive, so I don't do anything with it. I want to make this interactive, but I got to add a question. What grade are you in? Right? I have to add the question on the slide. You have to give a visual to show kids because you've experienced Peardeck. You know that it's like your Google slide on this side and your Peardeck interactivity on this side, right? So you get a Google slide on this side. So give them an image and you take advantage of this image because you can give directions. What grade are you in? I'm going to make that a multiple choice. Okay, so right here, this is the money area, just right here. Ask students a question. You could dive into this template library. I'm not going to really cover that, but it can pop already built interactive slides in there for you. I always just use this because I like to design my own slides. What grade are you in? You hit the choice, and then you go 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, right? I'm only doing this because I taught high school. Update, there's some magic, computer science. If you notice, now this little bar at the bottom says students choose an option, ABC. That shows you that that's a Peardeck multiple choice slide. And it shows what you typed here. You made a multiple choice question and it's got 9th, 10th, 11th. So you don't need, if you need to change it, you just go back into multiple choice and you could add like 8th grade or whatever. But here's another pro tip. If I want to use as much of the slide as I want, but maybe this little bar is covering some of my image, I can drag this down off screen and my Pear Deck interactivity still works, but then it's not covering any of my slide. But if you delete this, you just deleted the Pear Deck interactivity, right? So that, but I like to slide it off because I like to use my whole slide. It looks cleaner that way. So now that's a Pear Deck slide. I'm going to add, let me see, a number. How much coffee do you drink? A day, something like that, right? I'm going to go number. And then this one's pretty easy. Just make it, now it's a number. Now it's a number. So I'm not going to go over all these, but they're just draggable. You guys can explore those. I will go over the website one though. So let's do that. Now I'm going to go to, someone talked about like teacher.desmos, right? So can I get a yes or no? Can you see teacher.desmos opening up here? Okay. So I'm going to find like a Desmos activity. I'm just going to find this one, Marcellus the Giant. And I like using this in my class. But so now I'm going to create a class code. And this goes with, just think any website you're using, right? I just created a class code. I'm going to grab my 3 dots here, grab the student link. Okay. I'm going to copy that link and then go back to this and now complete this Desmos activity by next Wednesday, right? And then all I do is push the website. This is the only, I mean, this is probably the most powerful one right here. The website, and then watch how hard this is. I'm just kidding. It's not that hard at all, right? Just paste your link and then bam. You see how it gives you a preview of, it's going to embed this beautifully into the website so your students aren't going to get lost into another tab. I will say that it's not all websites embed beautifully, and you're going to tell from this preview because it'll have the unhappy square, the broken link one. And so that just means it'll share it, but they're going to have them click on the link at the bottom. So when it's that case, and if it's not a good website, I just click it on my slide. I link it on my slide on an image, click here. GeoGebra does work with this. Yes. And then, but the thing is, if it's a link that doesn't work, Peardeck is really good about, if you send them the link, say, hey, I'm trying to get this to embed, it's not working. They have their engineers that say, oh, let me take that link. Okay, we fixed something. And then they fix it. So, right. So now that's, you know, I'm obviously not prettifying my slides right now because this is just a bare bones how-to, but I would take advantage of this space, include some more directions, include a visual. Here's the add audio to the slide. So let me try this because I've never really used this, right? Add audio to slide. So right here, this is the first time I've ever done this. Hey, what's up, class? This is Mr. Campos, and I want to remind you to click on this Desmos activity and try and complete it by next Wednesday when we have our Zoom office hours. If you have any questions, let me know, and good luck. Remember to sign in to your account or on your Chromebook or something like that and message me if you have any questions. Okay, so I'm going to add the audio to the slide. And there you go. See, that's cool. That's the first time. See, I'm learning something new. I didn't. Oh, there you go. Now it adds a little thing up here that the slide is recorded. Cool. So there is an immersive reader question. The text to speech. There's an immersive reader option. And I know I think it's on the bottom. There's a little headphones link. There's a little headphones link on there when you're presenting it. not this headphones link, but there is an immersive reader on here. I got to find out. My friend Amanda Sandoval showed me how to do that once, but I forgot. Yeah. So other than that, I mean, there's not a whole lot. If you want to explore with this, the drawing, the draggable, the template library, I guess I can show you guys that because, and then I'll spend the last few minutes answering questions. The template library has these beginning, during, and end of lessons. It's got great SEL templates like how's your bucket filling today? The example areas, like if you have different certain subjects you want to grab some templates from, you have the math, science, social studies. It's got maps and everything right there. Like there's some really cool ones in there, like the math. Let me show you. The math one has like this, which one doesn't belong. That's a really popular website, like for great activity, wodb.ca, and you can make your own which one doesn't belong if you have number line stuff. So a lot of great templates. And like if I pop that one in there, I just click that. All that is like a pre-made interactive slide that just adds into my template, right? Perrin, the slide deck I'm creating seems only asynchronous. I'm not sure about that question because Pear Deck, you can toggle between both. So I showed that earlier. You might have missed that. So when you start the lesson, you click start here when you're ready to present. And then you go student paste or instructor paste. And you can start it either way, but you could also switch it either way. So if you want to create a student paste or an instructor paste, and then like I'm going to start with teacher paste because that's, hey, we're going to, just like I did to start you guys off today. And I click that. And then this makes it interactive and launches. I would do this ahead of time before you start your Zoom because one good pro tip too, if you use high resolution images, try not to use like super high res images because that causes a real lag in like bringing up your draggable, drawable. So like choose some medium res images. And then when this is going, so I'm going to X out of that. And then just know that you can give your students, right? I just opened up present with Pear Deck, not the regular present with Google Slides, but present with Pear Deck. And I can either give the students a link here, or there's a Google Classroom button. I can link that there. I can open my teacher dashboard there. And then if I need to toggle it back to student paste, I can do that there. So I think that's about it. I mean, we covered a whole lot in an hour and 5 minutes. If there's any questions, I don't know, does anybody have any other questions, or are there some resources that I talked about that I didn't share? Yeah, they have great templates. They're like really nice pre-built stuff. DDS, will it stay on until you log out of Pear Deck? Yeah, so like if I closed, it stays on until you end the session, like I did when it pushed out the takeaways. So like if I got it started and I X'd out of it, then my students still have access to it, right? If they have the link. Let's see. What are these? When you use student paste, can you choose the slides they can access? Yeah, so they don't. That's a good question, Amber. Student paste lets them access the whole slide deck. So they don't have it dialed in yet like Desmos does, because Desmos lets you, if you're used to using teacher.desmos, it lets you say restrict from slides 13 to 18. And then they work on that. Pear Deck doesn't have that yet, but I can only assume it's coming because if it's a technology that Desmos can do, I think Pear Deck can do that. Are the templates only with the premium version? No, but I don't know if all of them are with the premium version. So you might not only get a few templates. Training sites for Pear Deck. I would YouTube. I mean, I would just YouTube Pear Deck. Let me see. Can you open an incognito window? and come in as a student. Yes. I do that often, Cynthia. If especially if you want to test out like what the student experience is before you give it to your student, that's a great tip by Cynthia, to open up an incognito window, which is here, these 3 dots. I'm not sure if you can see the 3 dots on my window, the 3 dots on the top of your browser, and then go to incognito window. And oh, I'm not sharing anymore, but the 3 dots on your browser, and then you can go to incognito and log in there. Yeah, that's a great way to be able to see both. Or I log in on my iPad separately. Can we see examples you used with your students? Probably not right now, given the time that we have. I mean, I hope you got some ideas, you know, and the way to use it. But I've used it with my students with math, you know, with number lines, drawing number lines. I use it with my technology students. I use it a lot more with distance learning for sure. So yeah, but if you have any other questions, and if you look on Twitter and look on Peardeck and YouTube, and there's tons of examples for your grade levels of the way people are using those. How you document all of the student responses for later review. So those are always in the archived version, William. If you go to the dashboard and go to sessions, just because you close the session, it means that they have it closed for the students, but I can go in and check and review all those student responses whenever I want. Where is my taco hat? Who has that? Maria? Right here. You gotta have the taco hat. It's Taco Tuesday on a Wednesday. Thanks for bringing that up. Dawn. Yeah. Let's see. Awesome. Yeah, I'm glad this helped, Dawn. Thank you, Dharma or Recovery Dharma South Bay. That's cool. Yeah, Amber, I would definitely, hey, let's pressure Peardeck into saying we want that feature for sure. I'm down with that. Did I restrict you in your presentation? No. Parent. So the way if you notice, the way I did that was the way I just designed my Google slide. I put the directions on the slide. Complete slides 20 through 28 by this next week. So if you're going to do that, I would include the directions on that slide. Thank you, Recovery Dharma South. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's it. I thank you for that. When I try to add the Peardeck add-on from slides, it says install disabled by admin. Yeah, so if whoever's asking that, you're gonna need to talk to your admin. Yeah, I would find out what kind of tacos they like, what kind of coffee or beverage they like, and you know, make sure that they have plenty of that, because your Google Apps admin is gonna be your best friend, and they need to allow that because sometimes they block it for some reason. Maria.
Ed, I think there's several questions that have been asked about sharing Pear Decks between teachers, like kind of a community. Are there resources available like that?
Yeah, they don't have like the co-teacher collaborator yet, but the good thing is, like, if you Pear Decked, that's a good question. If you Pear Decked a Google slide and you just share that slide with another teacher, it's got all the Pear Deck interactivity built into it because it has that little bar at the bottom. So as long as, like, if I share that, you guys all have access to my slides and they're Pear Decked, as long as you install the Pear Deck add-on, you could run my same session exactly the way I did it or make changes to it. You know what I mean? So, but there's no co-teacher thing like you can run them at the same time. But I can imagine that that's something that's coming too. I hope that answered a question. Yeah, where was let me see.
Yeah, it looks like Veronica's saying more interested in a community of users, I think. I guess maybe that's all just coming together.
Yeah, I mean, Twitter, you know, I mean, I don't know if they have, Yeah, on there, it's not like GeoGebra or like, I mean, Desmos is not even good at that either, you know, like, because it's just whoever, like you search other teachers who are using Pear Deck and find out who those power users are. Yeah. Let me see. There are many templates. Yep. Let me see. Thanks. Can you sync the responses to a Google Sheet, or how do grade students work? I don't think so. It's not like quizzes, like you can export those because they're not always number answers. Sometimes they're drawing. Let's see. Yeah, Amber, thanks. I love this hat. I actually have a hamburger hat, a pizza hat. You got to have some props. Got to invest in some props if we're going to be doing this distance learning for a long time, right? Might as well. Let's see. Have you had an occasion where the Pear Deck server didn't open up? I mean, it's been glitchy. Brian, that's a good question. I think one time I tried to do a Pear Deck in front of like a couple hundred people. I was at a conference and it didn't work. So I just like, hey, I roll with it, but I wasn't paying for it. So could I complain? You know what I mean? So borrow and share. I'm not sure what that. Can you use other teachers' Pear Decks? Yes, I think I answered that question, right? So do you think one activity per slide is better than a hyperdoc with all the links on one slide? I mean, that's a good question, Robin. I think that's up to everybody else. Like I love choice boards. So I think that's an amazing thing to do. Like, but you could also push out a choice board with Peardeck, you know, as one link. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I think hyperdocs, like if you're like a master at hyperdocs and packaging it that way, and you've got that down and your students are used to it, I would stick to that. But I also think like if you're using slides and you're used to using slides so much, and used to presenting information like that, then Pear Deck is probably easier for you. You know, that's a personal, you know, style type of thing. You're welcome, Coral. Let me see. More interested in the community. So
I know you just are kind of ending your time with us. It's 10:45 now. I do see maybe there's a few more questions. I believe people can reach out to you if they would like to. Would that be best like via Twitter, or what would you suggest?
yeah, I mean, I gave my email address too, and I don't mind, but I would prefer it being on Twitter because that way it's public. And if there's a lot of questions, I mean, most likely more than someone has that same question, and if we answer it on Twitter, it's very public and more people learn about it and more people can get those answers instead of me responding directly to some email. But my email is there too, like, you know, but just use it. I forget what the word is, but
wisely maybe, so you're not inundated. But yeah, this has been amazing. I have learned so much. I can't wait to go back to the recording when I can stop trying to read the Q&A and really play with it some more. This has been great, Ed. We really appreciate it. I want to remind everybody that this recording will be sent out to you, and Ed's slides as well, which he has said you can take and use, which sounds great too.
Yeah.
Have some fun playing with it. I just really want to thank you for your time, and I look forward to playing around with Pear Deck some more. And participants, thank you for attending, and hopefully we'll see some more of you tomorrow or within the next few weeks through our series. So thank you, everybody. Take care.
Thank you, guys. Yep. Look forward to talking with you.
Thanks, Ed.
You're welcome. Thank you, Stephanie.